Hello, my name's Kevin. I'm the Atypical Cripple. I'm with.
Sardine.
And today, I'm going to take a personality test. Find out what kind of personality I have. Are you curious, Sardine?
I am pretty curious, yeah. I took one of these a couple weeks back, and it wasn't 100% accurate, but it was pretty accurate on a lot of stuff.
Okay.
So I mentioned that to Kevin, and he's like, yeah, I'll take it. So here we are.
Okay.
We're going to take it for your entertainment.
Yes. My pain for your entertainment. That's the way it goes.
Well, hopefully it won't be too painful.
This is YouTube. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to also, if I give a total BS answer, call me out.
Okay.
How long have you known me?
A couple years. A few years.
Okay. Yeah. How well do you know me?
Moderately well.
Okay. So, should I try to BS you, or should I go full on transparent?
It is only as accurate as you make
I know.
it. So, if you want accurate results, be truthful.
All right. Well, here's an interesting question.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. You regularly make new friends. Agree, disagree, and how strongly?
I would say I'm in between the.
So we're gonna have to say slightly agree strongly. How about that?
Let's do this. Let's go from zero, middle.
Okay.
To 1, 2, or 3 green, 1, 2, or 3 purple.
That works.
All right. So I would say I'm 1 green.
Okay. You spend a lot of free time exploring various random topics that pique your interest.
Oh, that's a strong agree there. I'm a guy without a job and a YouTube connection. Internet connection, whatever.
Yeah. Seeing other people cry can easily make you feel like you want to cry too.
No, strong disagree.
Strong disagree. You often make a backup plan for a backup plan.
2 green.
All right. You usually stay calm even under a lot of pressure.
Middle there.
Neither
0.
agree or disagree. Okay.
Because sometimes I'm like, yeah, whatever. And other times I'm like trying to jump out of the wheelchair to throttle somebody.
Fair enough.
Okay.
At social events, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people and mostly talk to the ones you already know.
I really hate this one.
Yeah.
Because when I'm driving up with my wheelchair, it's a really great first impression when you get there, when you run over somebody's foot, you misjudge the distance.
Yeah.
So I normally try to let people come to me. But then again, if I were able-bodied and it wasn't the weird thing. What?
I just highlighted 2 words. That's all.
All right, you rarely. All right. Well, I'm going to say like 1 purple.
Okay, yeah, I would say I agree because I think you want to.
Right.
Like you're saying, but you have physical limitations.
I have physical limitations. When you're in someone's yard and you're going clunking up to somebody, it's like you just can't do that smooth and with game.
Yeah, but and then you talk to mostly people you already know. But that again, it's like I think you would be talking to a wide variety of people.
We were at a 4th of July party this 4th of July. I met at least 2 or 3 new people that came with me.
Yeah.
And I did that real well.
Yeah.
So, all right, 1 or 2. What do you think?
I could see either one, man. Maybe.
All right,
maybe
1.
2. Okay.
Be conservative.
Well, okay.
Who knows? Maybe Mrs. Kevin's watching this.
All right. You you prefer to completely finish one project before starting another.
Strongly agree.
Okay. You are very sentimental.
Uh, it's funny. I would say strong disagree. If I didn't have all my sentimental objects back here on the windowsill,
So
so
maybe
I'm gonna say one purple
one purple. Okay.
because to get down to what I have behind me, I can tell you a story about each thing. There's nothing there that it's like I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So
Okay.
you're a little sentimental, but not very sentimental.
No.
All right. You like to use organizing tools like schedules and lists.
I would if I could write.
Well, this is about preference, so.
All right. Well, if somebody could come and make lists and put signs up, I would love it.
Okay.
Except they'd piss off all my caregivers.
So would you say strongly, or
Medium agree.
Okay.
To green too.
Even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge.
I'm going to say middle of the road.
Neither
0.
agree nor disagree. Okay.
Yeah.
You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation.
Yes.
Strong agree.
2.
2. All right.
Be conservative.
You are not too interested in discussing various interpretations and analyses of creative works.
Is that another way of asking am I a postmodernist?
I don't know. I mean...
Well, I would say in the middle of the road because if somebody's an expert in something, and I've done that a few times.
Yeah.
Come in and...
yeah, because this is more about your personal preferences.
Yeah,
So do you enjoy consuming and discussing creative work?
Yeah, I do. 2, 1.
One agree? Okay.
1 agree.
You are more inclined to follow your head than your heart.
Agree. 3.
Okay. You usually prefer just knowing what you feel like... Wait, what? Doing what you feel like at a given moment instead of planning a particular daily routine.
I'm going to say 1 disagree.
1 disagree. Okay.
Because I like some spontaneity, but if I don't have a rough game plan, I'm just like, what are we doing?
Right.
Are
that makes sense.
we just going to sit around and eat ice cream from our balcony all day on our, our luxury motel? I mean, what?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
You rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on people you meet.
I worry about it, I just can't do anything about it.
Okay, so how... so
1.
you rarely worry, so
1
you disagree.
agree.
Wait, sorry. You rarely worry about it. So if you worry some about it, then you would disagree a little bit.
Yeah, right there. 1 disagree. It's
sometimes the phrasing of these questions is like...
it's very open-ended.
Yeah. You enjoy participating in group activities.
Depends the group. It depends on the relative IQ of the group.
In an ideal world,
I would love to go out on a big expedition as long as we're not pulling out doofus out of the water every 5 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, 1 agree. That's fine.
All right. You like books and movies that make you come up with your own interpretation of the ending.
No.
How no?
2. Yeah, we're fine.
Okay. Happiness comes more from helping others accomplish things than your own accomplishments.
Middle of the road. And kind of depends on the person. If they're good at acknowledging who did what, yeah, I'm all for that. If you think you were the center of the whole thing during the whole time, then it's like, oh, that's nice. Good to know you.
Right. So you want to be appreciated when you're putting the effort in.
Right. And you don't want someone to just think that,
Okay. So if your happiness comes from the helping, then you're saying what you're describing sounds maybe you slightly disagree. Because you're saying you need to be recognized for your contribution to it, which means your happiness comes more from your contribution. I'm just trying to reason it out.
No, that's fine.
I'm not trying to push you into a one direction here. I'm just trying to think through the question.
Leave it in neutral.
All right, fair enough. I think on mine I disagreed slightly with this one.
Okay.
I'd like to accomplish my own stuff.
I do as well. But I also have a hard time accomplishing my own things on my own.
But what I'll do, see, the way that I think, it's about your personality type, not necessarily your activity. So what I can what I can start to feel accomplishment in is if I start taking ownership of somebody else's, like if I'm helping them, I'm also becoming invested in that thing.
Well, let me ask you this. What do you mean by taking ownership of it? Because you did just say you like helping others as if, and then you take a certain amount of possession of it. How does it work in your mind?
I don't know exactly.
Because I've had a lot of people come to help me, and it's like, well, that'd be great. Can we just tweak it? And their eyebrows start twitching, and they're just like, what? You have preferences?
I think if I kind of start to identify with the goal of the thing.
Right.
So what I'm getting more satisfaction out of is accomplishing something rather than helping somebody. So
it's not the content, it's that we're actually moving the ball.
Something like that, yeah.
Gotcha.
So, all right.
Even though it's somebody else's ball.
And it's not to say I don't feel some satisfaction out of helping somebody, just for the sake of helping them as well. But I think my personal preference is that I would, when it says happiness comes more from, that's where, so I would prefer to accomplish my own thing rather than, but that's not to say I don't enjoy helping other people, if that makes sense.
Right.
Because it's a comparison, not a absolute statement.
Right. But they're also trying to tease out, do you get more of helping yourself or helping others?
Yeah. All right. Okay. So is that...
It's fine.
You are interested in so many things that you find it difficult to choose what to try next.
No. 2 purple.
2 purple. You are prone to worrying that things will take a turn for the worse.
Yes.
How yes?
3.
You avoid leadership roles in group settings.
1 disagree. And let me explain.
Okay.
I've been in situations, class projects, whatever, where you're just sitting around where everyone's just kind of sitting there going, durr. It's like in those situations, I will step up.
Mm-hmm.
But normally I'll let there be a pause.
Right.
Because...
give opportunity for somebody else to step in.
Right. Because for me, it's hard for me to convey leadership because I don't have a physical presence.
Gotcha.
So somebody else wants it, and then I can say, "Hey, boss, I want to do this. Okay, you go do that." That's a lot, and then I'll watch.
Yeah.
The leader, and then I'll make recommendations from the sidelines as a participant. But if I don't see something happening, I'm gonna
step up.
I'm gonna step up. Yeah. All right.
You are definitely not an artistic type of person.
I am taking artistic from the point of view of creativity.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I can be creative, but I gotta know there's a direction of the creativity.
Sure. I mean,
So
I
I
think the
would
best
say,
art has a direction.
Well, I get the feeling that some people, like my friend that made that little thing up there.
Sure, you can just be artistic for artistic's sake.
Right, you're just randomly splotching things.
Yeah.
Which is what she did, and when I saw
But that's not even real. That's like.
Right.
That's not true highly.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. So I put myself at a 1 agree.
You're definitely not. So you mean want to disagree?
Yes. What do you mean?
Oh, sorry.
I would agree on not yes.
You are definitely not an artistic type of person.
Yeah, okay.
So
1 disagree. Yes.
So that would be saying you are slightly a artistic type of person.
I can be creative, but I need to know the parameters of the problem to then take my creativity in a direction of moving a ball forward.
I mean, we're doing content creation right now, so I guess you have some creativity.
Yes.
All right. You think the world would be a better place if people relied more on rationality and less on their feelings.
Strong agree.
All right. You prefer to do your chores before allowing yourself to relax.
I'm going to go with 1 agree.
Okay.
But I don't really have chores.
Well, the idea is getting stuff done that needs to get done.
It's largely symbolic for me to do something. And if there's something that I have to do with the caregiver, I'm like, don't make me pull out my whip and start lashing you.
Okay.
Symbolically.
Yeah, symbolically in Minecraft, as the kids say these days.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't want to go do it. And you're like, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
I don't want to, it's raining. And so I'm sitting here looking at Doppler radar trying to figure out when the next let up in the rain is. Oh, look, we got a 10-minute window. Do you think we can make it now? And you're like, yeah.
All right. You enjoy watching people argue.
Are we looking? I do like watching people argue, but I gotta say this caveat. I do not like watching Vosh argue. I do, on the other hand, like watching Sargon argue.
Okay.
So.
Well, people can. You can be. It doesn't say all people. So,
no.
So you could agree.
All right. Put me at green 2.
Oh, 2? All right.
Yeah.
You tend to avoid drawing attention to yourself.
I'm going to demur to you on that one.
You tend to avoid. Honestly, you're not. I mean, obviously, you do draw attention just by the nature of of your physical presence.
Shall I do a dance?
Yes. But do you seek it? Like, would you naturally want it if you weren't in that situation? I guess.
Survey says. I mean, I don't know. I mean, do I avoid it? No.
Okay.
But do I seek it? Put me at...
Hi, YouTube.
Yeah. Well,
or what? Sorry, I didn't mean to presume.
Do second one.
Second disagree? Okay.
Yeah. Just because, this is kind of risky for me.
Yeah.
And I know that coming up in the near future, I may need something of a litmus test to determine to somebody, hey, I'm not one of those people. I'm not woke. So it's like, oh, have you checked out my YouTube channel? I'm.
I have a track record.
Yeah, it's like this is more like I want a track record for my behavior and my limits of my kind of means of doing things
Yeah.
out there so I can be vetted very quickly.
Yeah.
Maybe I want to run for governor one day or county commissioner. And I think having something like this, thinking ahead, is a good first step.
Yeah. All right.
Even warts and embarrassing moments, like whipping one's caregivers on...
In Minecraft.
Yes, in Minecraft.
All right.
Thank you.
Your mood can change very quickly.
How do you feel about that? Have you ever seen me go from hot to cold? Or cold to hot?
I've seen, like, in a day where, like, you'll be more high energy or low energy or have more patience or less patience.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I haven't seen it, like, flip from one moment to the next, per se.
Okay, so I'm not bipolar.
I guess that's...
So let's...
Is that a matter of degree? Like, if you... At what point do you become bipolar? When your mood shifts every minute or every hour or every day or every year?
Let me tell you this. One time at the airport up here in SeaTac, I was getting a connecting flight to Honolulu, and one of my parental units had taken out my boarding pass because they were quote-unquote going to lighten my burden of carrying all those papers in my boarding pass while I'm putting my, clearing my firearm through. Yeah, there was just this disconnect of understanding of what's going on here. If we just got into the airport, we had avoided a forest fire. So I could make my flight, so I was a little stressed out. And I just went nuts on the gate person. They're like, okay, sir, we're going to waive that $40 surcharge for that boarding pass reissuement. We're just going to get you on board. Sorry for the inconvenience. Because I think you got the idea after my rah-rah-rahing was, oh, someone else had tampered with his boarding pass. This guy's not in control of circumstances. And now I'm dealing with this meltdown of this adult baby in front of me. How do I get this guy moving along?
Well, okay, so mood can change very quickly. Like, I'll give you an example from my life, and you can tell.
Okay.
You can say if it applies to you in a similar way or different, or if this question is applicable to it or not.
Right.
So, like today, a guy at my work was pissing me off, and I was in a pretty bad mood throughout the rest of the day. But then, as soon as I got here, I'm pretty cheerful. Like my mood has improved quite a bit since I left work.
I think that's a recognition that places have there is something to be said about removing yourself from the situation. There's something to be said about changing your location.
Yeah.
Places have histories. And and there's, when I was in college, I was always one of my the area I live to be a place where people can talk, be themselves, not not be all uptight like, oh, don't say that in front of my kid, or oh, my wife wouldn't like you saying that. So I've always been, yeah, say what you want. And if you're a dick, I'll let you know. But as far as I know, we're just kind of going by redneck rules. So, yeah, as long as you're okay, we're okay.
Yeah.
And that's worked for me amongst mixed company. But I also don't have a family, and I have a lot looser conduct code than a lot of people I know.
Sure.
And I understand why they have the codes of conduct they have, because they got little ones or whatever. I fully endorse that. But eventually those little ones grow up and they have to engage at an adult level. So, anyway, let's say disagree one.
Disagree one. Okay.
That was a lot of response for that. All right.
You lose patience with people who are not as efficient as you.
Boy, I'm going to say yes. But I don't know. Yes. That green one.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. You often end up doing things at the last possible
No,
moment.
strongly disagree.
Okay. You have always been fascinated by the question of what, if anything, happens after death.
Fascinated?
Interested?
Well, it's like this. If you're going to eventually go there, you might as well, read the guidebook.
Yes.
So, agree to.
Agree to. Okay.
Yeah.
50% there. You usually prefer to be around others rather than on your own.
Yeah, agree one.
Agree one.
I also like it when I can say, you don't have to stay here, but you don't have to go home. You can't stay here.
Right. Got it. You become bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical.
Strongly disagree.
I thought so. You find it easy to empathize with a person whose experiences are very different from yours.
No.
Okay. No one?
No one.
Okay.
Because as long as the person can use their words to describe it, or YouTube's been excellent at this, because I had no idea that physical people go through physical. There's always that physical, that part of being physical that I don't get. And so that's widened my perspective quite a bit.
Okay. Makes sense. You usually postpone finalizing decisions for as long as possible.
No.
No.
Two.
No two. You rarely second guess the choices that you have made.
Agree one.
Agree one. After a long and exhausting week, a lively social event is just what you need.
Oh, no. I disagree too.
Disagree too.
Yeah.
You enjoy going to art museums.
Neutral, zero.
Neutral. You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings.
Yes. On one. Agree
Okay.
one.
You like to have a to-do list for each day.
I'd like to have something to do each day. How's that?
Okay.
Well, if I
again, going by like if you could.
right.
This is about preferences, not ability.
But a weak agree, a one agree.
Okay. You rarely feel insecure.
Disagree one.
Okay. You avoid making phone calls.
I do avoid making phone calls.
Is it
Two,
because
two,
of
one.
so agree one?
Yes.
Okay.
Only because phone calls are hard for me
Mm-hmm.
because I'm dealing with somebody else on the dialing and manipulating the phone. So there's a dread of, oh crap, I broke my caregiver, now
Well,
what?
let's say, because this doesn't really take into
I
account
know.
disabilities. So let's say,
I would
had you, if it were as simple as thinking, I
I,
want to talk to person X, and I can start
I,
doing that right now.
I still avoid the phone call. I prefer face to face.
Fair enough. Okay. You often spend a lot of time trying to understand views that are very different from your own.
Sometimes.
So
Well, I mean, I mean, do you ever watch anyone on BreadTube?
I have not lately, although I spent a lot of time over the July 4th weekend talking to somebody that probably watches them a lot.
Okay, I don't. Um, agree one.
So as okay, agree one. What I would say for myself is
Yeah.
you spend a lot of time. I wouldn't say a lot. I would say sometimes I get in the mood where I'm willing
Yeah.
to interact with somebody.
Yeah.
But it's more. I don't know if it's trying to understand as much as trying to get them
Right.
to understand like why they're wrong.
There is somebody I watch online. He's a online atheist, Doug from Pine Creek.
Okay.
I think he is the best internet atheist. He only gets, a few thousand views a day. He's small.
Yeah.
But I think his arguments are the ones that challenge me most.
All right.
And he's all about the argument, not about the person.
Yeah.
Where some of the other ones are more like grifters, rah rah, let's be on our side. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. In your social circle, you are often the one who contacts your friends and initiates activities.
I'm going to say agree one.
Okay?
I would if I could.
Yeah. If your plans are interrupted, your top priority is to get back on track as soon as possible.
Disagree too.
Disagree too. You are still bothered by mistakes that you made a long time ago.
Neutral.
Neutral. You rarely contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life.
Rarely disagree. Two.
You rarely disagree too. Your emotions control you more than you control them.
Disagree too.
You take great care not to make people look bad, even when it is completely their fault.
Oh, disagree too. I will.
I agree with your disagree.
Yeah. Well, if you're a good friend, I might say, hey, dude, a word.
Yeah.
But after that, hands off.
All right. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts.
I'm going to have to go to agree too on that one.
All right. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take them to feel disappointed in you.
Agree one.
Okay. You would love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time.
Agree too.
Okay.
Well, I mean, maybe. I really enjoy what we do.
Sure.
But if I were out digging ditches or doing something physical, that would be that.
Right.
So
So, agree
agree one.
Agree one. Okay. You believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time.
Disagree. 3.
Okay. You feel more drawn to places with busy, bustling atmospheres than quiet, intimate places.
Disagree. 2.
Okay.
Not big into crowds.
Okay. You know at first glance how someone is feeling.
No. 1.
Okay.
I mean, somebody's, pacing back and forth. I'm not gonna go, you must be feeling happy.
Yeah, and then some people are way too confident that they know how you're feeling.
Oh, I know that.
It's like, maybe I'm just putting up a blank stare.
You often feel overwhelmed. Disagree too.
Disagree too. You complete things methodically without skipping over any steps.
Oh, this is a problem I have people all the time. I'm gonna say I complete things without. Yes, agree too.
Agree too.
I want things, especially with the lift. It's like you missed a step. Oops.
A, then B, then C. Do not skip B.
Yes.
You are very intrigued by things labeled as controversial.
What do you think, Czar?
I think pretty agree.
Yeah.
How agree?
I'll let you.
I don't know, cause controversial. That's a very specific.
Right. Do I do things just for the gasp?
I don't think so.
2.
But yeah, okay. I agree with
I
that.
don't shy away from
Exactly. I mean, there's some interest in them,
it. Oh, sure.
but yeah, it's not like unbounded.
Right.
You would pass along a good opportunity. You would pass along a good opportunity if you thought someone else needed it more.
Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever been out with a dude friend and been like, oh no, dude, go ahead. You go hit on her. I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, probably, but that would might just be more due to my own social anxiety than like, oh, here's a good excuse for me not to have to put myself out there.
All right. Well, okay. Put me on. Disagree too.
Disagree
Because
too.
I'm more Machiavellian in that regard. I mean,
Fair enough.
if it's like, okay, you've been a good friend.
And most things are not a zero-sum game anyway.
I don't think so either.
So it's not like, well, if I have this, then no one else can. It's probably there's other opportunities.
Right. I don't like how that dehumanizes women a little bit. Because I'd like to say, if I see something in somebody, there's something there.
Right.
And it's worth pursuing.
Yeah.
Versus, oh, it's just like how she smiles.
Right.
2.
All right. You struggle with deadlines.
Disagree 2.
You feel confident that things will work out for you.
Disagree 1.
Okay. Your gender. Other.
Male.
Okay. Okay.
2.
All right, we're there. See
All
the
right.
results. Dun 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 dun. Commander.
Wow.
ENTJ. All right.
So T. All right, let's see this.
This trait determines how we interact with our environment. You're extroverted. Okay.
Oh, wow. It's new to me.
53%. I'm not terribly surprised.
Okay.
Although I think
Yeah.
there's some introversion as well. So I don't know how.
I'm kind of floating on that 50-50.
Yeah, you're pretty close to 50.
I mean,
So.
if I were Tim Pool, I don't know how more middle of the road I could be.
Yeah, it's pretty middle of the road.
All right.
Energy. This trait shows where we direct our mental energy, and intuitive over observant. Interesting.
Huh.
Intuitive.
So that means behind my eyes, I'm playing my own game of what's that Pokemon where it's augmented reality?
Digimon?
No,
I don't know what it is.
Pokemon
Pokemon
Go.
Go.
Yeah, I'm out there producing Pokemon.
This trait shows where we direct our energy. Intuitive.
Okay.
Nature. This trait determines how we make decisions and cope with emotions. Thinking versus feeling. Much higher on the thinking. That's a very
Yes.
strong
Okay.
one there. Tactics. This trait reflects our approach to work, planning, and decision making. Judging versus prospecting. Interesting.
I'm very judgy.
Prospecting. Okay. Identity. This trait underpins all others, showing one ring to rule them all. Showing how confident we are in our abilities and decisions. You're slightly more on the turbulent than the assertive side.
I could see that. Yes.
Yes, but I don't want to write the email right now.
Oh,
Here, let's hide it.
Don't worry about it.
I'll change the scene real quick here.
Thank
Hello. Yes, and don't
And
say
there it
anything.
is.
Yep. No check.
No,
Okay.
that's very nice.
Oh, great. They're gonna make me verify it. So many steps.
Don't worry about it. Let's close it out. And
Well, it'll take 1 second.
is there something worth looking at? Is there?
Yeah. Well, the results are the whole point.
Gotcha.
What are we even doing this for if we don't want to see the results?
I thought we did see the results.
No. We just saw the very first thing. Now here's the results. Okay, let's pull
go
this
back.
up. Make sure your email's not visible there.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're good.
INTJ.
INTJ-T.
Yes. Well, let's go back to a full screen.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm getting there. All right. Maybe.
Yes.
That.
There we go.
Okay.
All right.
So.
Commander.
Your
What is this? Command and Conquer? How did this know my secret desire was to be Commander from Command and Conquer?
Well, you did say you were thinking about maybe one day county commissioner or governor, so that might have been a hint.
Okay, let's go.
Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Commanders are natural-born leaders. People with this personality type embody the gifts of charisma and confidence and project authority in a way that draws crowds together behind a common goal. However, commanders are also characterized by an often ruthless level of rationality, using their drive, determination, and sharp minds to achieve whatever end they've set for themselves. Perhaps it is best that they make up only 3% of the population, lest they overwhelm the more timid and sensitive personality types that make up much of the rest of the world.
Come on, you sheeple, get in line.
But we have commanders to thank for many of the businesses and institutions we take for granted every day.
Okay.
Striving for greatness. If there's anything commanders love, it's a good challenge, big or small. And by the way, if you want to interject or interrupt me or have me stop to
I will.
Okay. Yeah, you're very assertive.
I am liking what I'm seeing here. I just like. Go on.
Okay, I will then. Okay, if there's anything commanders love, it's a good challenge, big or small, and they firmly believe that given enough time and resources, they can achieve any goal.
I don't believe that.
Well,
but
it's not going to be 100%.
Well, if I become governor, it'll be my campaign promise not to waste your taxpayer money willingly and deliberately.
Yeah, unlike the current. Anyway.
Right.
This quality makes people with the commander personality type brilliant entrepreneurs, and their ability to think strategically and hold a long-term focus while executing each step of their plans with determination and precision makes them powerful business leaders. This determination is often a self-fulfilling prophecy, as commanders push their goals through with sheer willpower where others might give up and move on, and their extroverted nature means they are likely to push everyone else right along with them, achieving spectacular results in the process. At the negotiating table, be it in a corporate environment or buying a car, commanders are dominant, relentless, and unforgiving. This isn't because they are cold-hearted or vicious per se. It's more that commander personalities genuinely enjoy the challenge, the battle of wits, the repartee that comes from this environment. And if the other side can't keep up, there's no reason for commanders to fold on their own core tenet of ultimate victory. The underlying thought running through the commander mind might be something like, I don't care if you call me an insensitive bleep, as long as as I remain an effective bastard, I think is the word there.
Oh, yeah, so I was going to correct you. I'm like, do you not read asterisk?
Yeah, it took me a second at first.
Bastard.
It's probably, yeah. Have you been called that before?
Yes, but I know where my dad's from. On the other hand, I'm also known as a SOB.
Yes.
I also know that my mother loves to refer to herself as a B.
Oh, gosh. Delightful.
So therefore, I am both a figurative bastard and an actual son of a bitch.
Great. All right.
Literally and figuratively.
If there's anyone commanders respect, it's someone who is able to stand up to them intellectually, who is able to act with a precision and quality equal to their own. Commander personalities have a particular skill in recognizing the talents of others, and this helps in both their team-building efforts, since no one, no matter how brilliant, can do everything alone, and to keep commanders from displaying too much arrogance and condescension. However, they also have a particular skill in calling out others' failures with a chilling degree of insensitivity, and this is where commanders really start to run into trouble.
Been there, done that.
A worthy challenge. Emotional
Do I get to kill a dragon? Dr. Peterson said there'd be dragons here. I took it literally. I even got a Roman short sword.
That's right. All right. A worthy challenge. Emotional expression isn't the strong suit of an analysis type, but commanders' distance from their emotions is especially public and felt directly by a much broader swath of people.
Oh, yes.
Especially in a professional environment, commanders will simply crush the insensitivities of those.
No, crush.
The sensitivities. Sorry, can't read.
Not insensitivity. No, we want insensitivity. I'm sorry.
All right. Commanders will simply crush the sensitivities of those they view as inefficient, incompetent, or lazy. Right. So there's, I can see that. To people.
What? You telling me I don't have a heart for the transabled?
Well, it's a culpable.
Right.
You're going after somebody who to you is culpable for the way.
Yes.
That they are. So.
Hence why I do not have a heart for the transabled.
Right. Makes sense. Self-inflicted wounds, literally.
Yes.
To people with the commander personality type, emotional displays are displays of weakness.
Yes.
And it's easy to make enemies with this approach. Commanders will do well to remember that they absolutely depend on having a functioning team, not just to achieve their goals, but for their validation and feedback as well, something commanders are, curiously, very sensitive to. Let's see.
I like feedback, but do I need it emotive laden?
No, it's having a functional team, right?
Well,
but
right.
Their validation and feedback as well.
So what they're saying is what Jocko Willink says. You gotta play the game, man.
Right.
what do you want? Do you want somebody to function, or do you want or do you want to have the desire to just say it like it is? Let's like validating your own emotions on somebody else's back.
Right. Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah. Commanders are true powerhouses, and they cultivate an image of being larger than life, and often enough they are. They need to remember, though, that their stature comes not just from their own actions, but from the actions of the team that props them up. And that it's important to recognize the contributions, talents, and needs, especially from an emotional perspective of their support network. Even if they have to adopt a fake it till you make it mentality.
I don't like that.
If commanders are able to combine an emotionally healthy focus alongside their many strengths, they will be rewarded with deep, satisfying relationships and all of the challenging victories they can handle.
I don't like the fake it till you make it idea.
Okay.
But I could understand trying to give a positive outlook on something just to make it easier to swallow.
Well, yeah, and I mean, you've said things like, well, I don't want to misrepresent, but,
like,
you know, like you'll try to be more validating to your
right.
friends and things than you necessarily have patience to do with people who, well, caregivers to name one, but people
Only
who aren't.
one?
Yeah.
I've had over 300.
So a class of people.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I once had a caregiver. It's like, you're really bad on caregivers. I'm like, have you met other ones?
Right.
Now, I think a lot of people out there are like, I'm offended. And I'm like, yes, but you're not dealing with this population of people.
Right.
That seem to be coming from another population of, people that are being drawn into this environment because, it's something for them to do.
I imagine the need for caregivers far outstretches the the segment of the population that actually is well suited to it.
I don't. Well, anyway, that's much longer. Let's put a pin in that.
Yeah, that conversation.
Yeah, because I think that would be good content.
Commanders you may know: Steve Jobs, Gordon Ramsay, Margaret Thatcher, Franklin D. Roosevelt.
What's Gordon Ramsay doing up there? He looks like he's really exasperated.
He's cursing at somebody.
How dare you put me in the same lengths as Franklin Delano Roosevelt? I'm offended.
All right, so strengths and weaknesses.
Are we going through the whole thing?
Well, we can.
We're already at 51 minutes.
I don't know. I mean,
romantic.
You want to do a part 2 or something?
Let's do romantic relationships.
You want to skip down? All right. Romantic relationships. As in other areas of their lives, commanders approach dating and relationships with a set of goals and a plan to achieve them, and proceed to do so with impressive energy and enthusiasm.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the guy that can't roll over.
Okay.
Please, what was that video we did?
The dating profile?
Yes,
or the care guide or whatever.
Careland is
as a dating profile.
So, let's scroll down a little further. It's taking the lead. All right.
Do you want to read it or?
No, keep going.
Keep going. Loving
boldly.
That's it.
All right. Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is I am an INTJ with the T, and So in other words, I am the Caesar type. Hail me. All right. Well, is there anything else here that you wanted to...
Well, we might make a part 2 or something. If you want to go over some of these other sections, they might be interesting. But
I don't... No, I don't think it'd really be interesting to other people.
Fair enough.
But we can go over this later if you want. But I think this shows I'm definitely not born in the right body.
Yeah. You want to read the conclusion? I don't know if there's anything.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Armed with a powerful intellect and strategic thinking, commanders can...
All right, hang on. The first word here is armed. I'm just pointing that out. No particular reason. I just want to say I like this conclusion. If you're starting out with armed, I am not. Though I go walking through the shadow of death, I will fear no either evil because I'm armed.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
With powerful intellect and strategic thinking, commanders can overcome or outmaneuver obstacles that seem unbeatable.
Outmaneuver. I need a new wheelchair for that one.
With off-roading capabilities. Yes.
Well, all right.
At the same time, there are many quirks, such as often unconstrained rationalism.
Unconstrained rationalism.
Yeah.
I like that.
Lead to many misunderstandings. Those misunderstandings end here. What you have read so far is just an introduction. I guess we didn't read the whole thing. So at some point reading through your results, you probably hit a tip. Okay, well, this doesn't seem very...
Yeah, they're trying to sell us on their product.
All right. Well, anyway.
Premium. Again, if you're not... Workplace habits you really want to know.
Let's see where your career paths.
Officer. Scroll down. Just quite very. Well, it doesn't really give you like cop or soldier or covert officer or what?
I mean, yeah, it's just saying you want to...
Yeah, go ahead, right there. This explains my personality a lot. How do you make a guy crazy, give him the commanding personality, and put him in a wheelchair?
Yeah.
And give him Section 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. Read that paragraph.
Okay. The only problem is it takes time for commander skills to be organized and...
Recognized.
Oh, recognized, sorry. And stagnating as low-level employees will have them bouncing off the walls and deeply unhappy. People with the commander personality type crave leadership and responsibility, growth and opportunity, and genuinely enjoy managing others to get a job done. Commanders are visionaries and leaders, not grunts or day-to-day administrators. Getting that to be recognized is not always easy, but commanders are probably up to the task. Now, that's doubly challenging for you in the wheelchair, like you were saying.
Right. I think that, I mean, I'm trans. I mean, what was that video we did? I identify as a Chad.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So
makes perfect sense.
Now we see. I love these tests. I think everyone should have to do a test like this at church.
Yeah, it would be very revealing.
I think so. But anyway, assuming they don't think it would be unscriptural or whatever.
I don't see why, but just for context. Well, I don't know how contextual it is, but. So I'm...
You're the INTJ?
Yeah, I'm INFJ. So we have N and J in common.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we close this out and we go over personality types over the broad spectrum?
Okay. You want to close this out then?
Yeah. Won't we land the plane on my INTJT nightmare? I really should have been born a Green Beret and robbed banks for the last 20 years of my
Oh dear.
What?
Yeah.
That's what Evan Afer says.
Okay.
He's the founder of Black Rifle.
Right.
He's like, I got to rob banks for 10 years of my life.
Is that what he did in the military?
Well, no, he did extractions and it's like robbing, it's like being a part of Ocean's 12
Right.
or 11 or
Yeah.
9 or whichever movie you want. But they would go in, hit targets, move out, and they'd be doing that 1 or 2 targets a night for the entire rotation.
Wow.
Right. That's why he says, I robbed banks for 12 years or 10 years. That sounds like fun. As you can see, I'm sorely out of shape and I suck at physical things. So, anyway, let's go ahead and sign off and do another video and then they'll do it.
All right.
My name's Kevin. I'm the atypical cripple, and I'm with.
Sardine.
See you on the next bounce.
Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Bye.